Hey guys, I had to bring Bobby with me today. It's getting kind of exciting, isn't it? Chapter 29. It's called A Tiny Piece of Toast. Are you ready for this? Marcus and I rode along the highway on our way back to Washington. I was still overwhelmed by everything as I looked out at the farms. It's a lot prettier when you're not tied up in the back of a truck, I said. Funny how that works, he replied. I still can't believe I pushed my panic button and you came to rescue me in a hybrid. I was expecting something like a helicopter or at least one of those bulletproof SUVs. I didn't come because of the panic button, he said. What do you mean? When you didn't show up at home, I started looking for you on my own, tracking you with your smart trip card, he explained. You got everybody else when you pushed the panic button. I was already on my way. I bet you didn't even go over the speed limit, I said. Speed limits are there for a reason, he said. Safety's important. Then he cracked a smile and added, although I may have gone over it by like 40 miles an hour. Well, thanks, I said. You've rescued me twice in 2 weeks. That's got to be some sort of record. And you said you were going to tell me who did it, he reminded me. So spill. I need to explain something first, and you have to promise that you won't tell anyone. I promise no such thing, he said. 45 minutes ago, I told a very scary man that I wouldn't tell this to anybody, so I need to make sure it stays a secret. You have to promise. Let me explain how this works, Marcus said to me. If you trust me with a secret, that means you trust my judgment with regard to the information. Not that you get to dictate that judgment for me. If we're going to work together, we're going to have to be able to think along those lines. You still want to work with me, I asked, even after all this? I know, crazy, isn't it? Okay, you don't have to promise, but please use your best judgment. Always, he said. It all starts with Margaret's soccer game. I explained to him all about the search for Margaret's birth parents and the fact that Navrescu was her father. When I was done, he shook his head in amazement. Wow, he said, that's a secret I can keep. That's something we need to protect from her. Agreed, I said. And from that you were able to determine who stole Woman with a Parasol? Yes, thanks to you. What did I do? That day at Quantico, you set a trap for me. I reached into the glove compartment and saw that the nail polish was still there. I took it out and held it up for him to see. You left clues like this that were too irresistible for me to ignore, I said. Then you told me that my biggest vulnerability was that if someone knew I was on the case, they could set a trap. And that's exactly what someone did. We continued to drive as I laid it all out for him. Ooh, that was short. That's the end of the chapter. We'll have to find out some more later. See ya.